Okay, in this video, we're going to be talking about the My Spanish Lab component of this course. And this video is meant to be watched. Basically, we're going to be looking at after you have purchased your access code, registered, and signed in, so you can just see how to navigate this program. So I'm looking at the student view. So once you've navigated, once you've entered the program, this is exactly what you should see. You have logged in using our particular course number that I put for you in Blackboard. And so the first thing that you're going to see is this calendar over here to the right. This is really going to be your guide throughout the course to let you know when everything is due and what exactly is due. So if we're looking at the calendar, you see two different icons here. You see this little piece of paper here, which just indicates some sort of note that I've left for you. And then you see the little clock symbol, and the clock symbol means that you have assignments due on that particular date. And just like everything in Blackboard, whether it's Senior Wooly, a quiz, whatever, I've selected everything to be due by 10 p.m. on the due date. So make sure that you don't wait to midnight assuming that you can turn it in after 10 p.m. because 10 p.m. is the cutoff. So just looking at these, the notes that I have left you are for things that really aren't done through the My Spanish Lab component. So as you can see here, if I click on this note on June the 7th, I just put a little note for you here that it says your plagiarism quiz is due in Blackboard. So I just kind of doubled up, making sure that you know when the due dates are, whether you're looking in Blackboard or whether you're looking in My Spanish Lab. So you can check either site to let you know. And then on that Friday of June the 9th, your course quiz or your syllabus quiz is due in Blackboard as well. So the first time you have anything due in My Spanish Lab will be on June 12th, as you can see here on the calendar to the left, again, based on that little clock that you see. So if we click on June the 12th, you should immediately bring up the activities that you are to do here that go along with our preliminary chapter. Actually, this is sort of a pre-chapter. They're not even calling it chapter 1. So what you're going to need to do before you start this, of course, is you're going to need to access the e-text, and you can see the link to the e-text here. So this is that ebook that we talked about. You don't need to purchase the actual printed book unless you just prefer the printed book because it's already included with your access code. So if you click on the e-text here, then the e-text should actually pop up. Now, if you have a pop-up blocker that pops up in the top right-hand screen, you might need to disable your pop-ups because that was something that I encountered as I was trying to open the e-text as well. So you can see, I mean, basically it's just the book but printed out. And then over here to the right, you can navigate through the pages. And I've put the page numbers in your syllabus so that you can know, okay, what pages do I need to go through before I actually start these activities? Because if you start the activities blind, you'll have no idea what we're actually doing. So the preliminary chapter starts on page 2. This is just all that I'm scrolling through here. It's just all preface to the book here. So I'm actually just going to type the page number in this top right hand corner and let us take it straight to. So we're starting on page 2 for this preliminary chapter. And I'll kind of give you an idea of what's going to be covered, vocabulary, grammar, just different concepts that you'll encounter in this first chapter. And then you really need to go through these pages before you ever begin the activities. So after you've done that, we'll go back here and we'll continue through these activities here. So you have two different icons here regarding the activities that will be due. This one is for the student activities manual, and these with the E are the e-text activities. It doesn't really matter if you know the difference. These are just activities that you know that you're going to have to do. So as you click on these, every particular activity should pop up. They're all a little bit different. Some of them are fill in the blank, like this one that you see here. Some of them are listening activities. You need to listen to the sample and make some sort of response, but they're all a little bit different and they're all really short, so they shouldn't be super time consuming. And then you'll just work through all of those. And as you can see in the calendar, you always have something due on Mondays. So Mondays are the day that all of these activities here that you see are due. And then on Fridays is when I have the test scheduled. So like for example, this on June the 12th is when these activities here are due for the preliminary chapter, and then on the 19th you go right on to chapter 1, and then here on the 23rd is when chapter 1 test is due. Now I would recommend, because you've done all of chapter 1's activities here on the 19th, that I would take my test on the 20th, just so everything's fresh in my mind. But I did give you a couple of extra days to go ahead and extend in case you needed more time. But the absolute last minute for you to turn this test in is Friday the 23rd at 10 p.m. So although I wouldn't recommend waiting that long, just because that gives you, your distance between your study time here and the actual test is longer, you have until that day without penalty. So you're just going to continue to work through the chapter in that manner. On Mondays, completing all of the activities that are assigned on each day, and on Friday, taking the test. You'll notice as we scroll through towards July that we have a little break here because it is a holiday. So the only thing due on that week are your senior woolly activities for that week. So that's a nice little break there. You'll go all the way through chapter 5, and then here on July 30th, you have your activities due for chapter 6, but we're not actually taking a test over chapter 6. We will just include that test in the comprehensive final exam, which hasn't been scheduled yet, but will be sometime within these 3 days. And that you are going to have to go to the testing center or a testing center to do your final exam, and you won't be able to take it another time. So it'll have to be one of these 3 days here, but as we get a little bit closer, I'll give you more details there. And on this week, I don't have it scheduled yet as you're looking at it here in MySpanishLab, but we will have a final exam review that will be due during that week. So just be prepared for that and make yourself and your schedule available here within those 3 days. So don't plan a big vacation, because this is something you are going to have to take in person. You're not going to be able to do online by yourself. So we'll talk more about that as it gets closer. Please let me know if you have any trouble. There are different tutorials that you can look at to navigate this course. And of course, you can just ask me as I'm kind of learning it along with you, because like I mentioned in my previous video, this is the first time for me to teach this online course. So we're kind of learning together, so please be patient. And again, remember that I will be out of the country through June 15th. So my response time might be a little bit delayed just due to poor Wi-Fi connection. So again, be patient, and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. I look forward to this semester, and good luck.